Hey guys, what's up? This is Shane with Smith Eastwood Construction. We're here in San Clemente, California. I'd like to take you by some of our projects and see the builds we got going on. Yeah, so I think the first job we should start at is the one Camino de las Mares. There's a lot of subs there now, a ton of people doing different things, and there's going to probably be a lot of questions for me there.
For sure.
Every morning I stop there. Then right across the street, there's the duplex, Capital Beach, which is on the other side of the freeway. That one's, less going on there, but still it's right there. We'll stop by that. And then I think we just hit the jobs coming back north. And then once we get back here, we have one on the hill, and then we have one on the south side. Okay, you guys want to ride with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Dude, we went surfing this morning, and it was like, it's rare when everything works perfectly, like you got the tide and the wind and the water's warm, and it was like,
What's the water at right now?
like 70.
Yeah, dude.
And it was like all time today, kind of, so it was kind of hard to get out of the water, but I knew you guys were coming.
Yeah.
So we're here back on 868 Camino de las Mares here in North San Clemente. We're about a month and a half away from being done with hardscape, landscape. We started this job in December. So I think start to finish, this will be 9 months with the ADU in the back, which we'll walk through, and it's really cool. It's kind of subterranean. We built it into the hill, and then the roof is gonna be concrete with a fire pit and jacuzzi and all this cool stuff on there. So kind of wanted to walk you guys through some of the finishes here on the outside. It's super cool. We're gonna have a ton of different textures. This is new tech. It's a material really started getting popular, I'd say probably about 2 years ago, but now it's like extremely popular. It's not wood. I think it's a vinyl material, but it'll last forever. It's got lifetime warranties. It looks really good on garage doors. And then we mitered all the edges instead of using the trim that they provide, so that you get these really clean lines. Even here, on these corners, you can see it looks like it's one piece of material. So it was difficult to get that because we had to shim this wall out a little bit, and you're playing with how much space you have before you hit the door. So but yeah, it's gonna look super clean when it's finished. And then all the area that has a shark skin material is all gonna be metal, and it's all gonna be black, even the eaves here. So that's cool. You're gonna have this black fascia, black eaves, and then it's gonna continue all the way through. And then on this side, you're gonna have this brick material that this carries all the way through the house, all the way through to the outside. And it's really cool because you have this big glass pivot door here. So once that's all cleaned up and the plastic's taken down, you're gonna be able to see this material continue all the way through the house from walking up to the front door. Let's maybe go around this side, and this will all be stucco to match the house. Look who it is, dude. That's Trayvon. I don't know how this will look on camera, but
Like shit.
it will, huh? That'll look like shit. So you can kind of it's hard to imagine now, but you can see right now they're framing out for this Ipe deck that's going to be around the jacuzzi. There's your fire pit. And then we have some planters and this whole thing. So this is actually the roof of the ADU that they're standing on. And this whole thing is just a waterproofing nightmare. So it's been like trying to figure out how to get that right. And then, okay, so out here, this is also cool. We have the same new tech. This goes around the whole eaves. So this is kind of, you'll kind of get the idea of how this is going to look. So this will carry through outside. this wall here, and then outside as well. And then what's kind of cool here is that we have this LED strip tape here. This is going to be like a lighting strip that will be on a dimmer that can like highlight this accent wall at night, so you can just have like that light on, which will look really rad. This is going to look really rad. So our cabinets get delivered tomorrow, and they're going to start the install with that. They're coming from Germany. Really nice stuff. I don't know how to pronounce it. Lech, something like that. But once that goes in, we have this built-in that the TV is going to recess into, and then it all gets Venetian plaster. And same with this wall here. This will all be Venetian plaster, which is going to be like, you know, it's hand troweled, has a little bit of texture to it. It's going to be dark, I believe black. And then we spray these here black. So these are the vents. It's going to pull air in and push hot air out, but we want them to disappear. That's the goal. So right now they stand out, but I think once that's a black wall, that's all painted black in there. Another cool thing with this house is that, like we talked about in the last video, it's all Control 4. So there's really no light switches or anything like that. You're gonna have keypads in specific locations, and they get programmed. So you can just click good morning, and all your morning things will turn on. And then your blinds will recess into the ceilings, and everything will lighten up, and however you want to program that, or good night, or, you know, and your coffee makers, those turn on, and so it's really rad. Nice. So here we have like all these. Yesterday we were working on this detail where all the electronic shades, those are all the pockets for them. So those will start getting installed. So those will black out. So once you hit like good night on your thing, or you know, you want to watch a movie or whatever, you can drop those. This is primary, same shades here. This is really cool here. You know, these are the baseboard details. This is called fry riglet. It's the metal where the baseboard ends. And then this is the actual baseboard recessed into the wall. So it gives you this really cool shadow line here. And then we put all the outlets into the baseboard horizontally, so it's going to look super clean. It's a modern home, so everything in this home is going to be more on the modern edge. So you see here we have like no casing, everything's curved jambs, so it's this really clean look. These are all pocket doors, so you can pull that. They're all soft closing. Yeah, so the flooring is actually, it's something we've never done before. It's this company called Senso, and it's actually gonna look pretty cool. It almost has like a limestone look to it, but this runs throughout the entire house. It's gonna run into the backyard as well, in the shade structure area, and then also the landing of the entryway. So it's cool. I've never done it before. I'm excited to see how it ties everything together once all the paper and plastic is pulled out. There's really not much to look in here yet. This here will be a floating vanity with recessed medicine cabinets that'll light up. And then this countertop for this vanity is going to be the entire backsplash in this area. And the reason why we have that floated so thick, so that once that goes in, these will be flush. And then the rest of this room gets Venetian plastered. The entire shower, ceilings, walls. So it's gonna look really, really rad when it's completed. You know, we did a little extra things here, like all of the can lights are trimless, all mud in. So it's a super clean look. Same with all of our vents. They're all no registers. They're just these linear screws in here. This room as well will all have all Venetian plaster except that one accent wall there. And then here we have these built-ins, all made out of rift cut white oak. And this will be a nice office area with a desk. All right, let's go downstairs and check out the ADU. This is the ADU. This was really difficult to build. We have these massive retaining walls. Had to take a ton of dirt out, and then really prep for this a while ago with running all of our underground utilities to get here for our low voltage and, you know, electrical, trying to figure out how we're gonna run our venting, since the above space is all living space for you know, the backyard. So we came up with some pretty cool ideas. We made the whole left side, the utility side, so we'll have our water heater, our you know, our condenser, and pretty much our electrical panels, everything will be on that side, and then also the pump, the sewage ejector, which everything will hit to that and then get pushed up to the street. But that also, we ended up running all of our venting all the way over and then came up the side over here, and then we created a planter up there to hide that. So it's pretty interesting to figure all that out, because realistically none of that was in the plans, and we kind of engineered all that like ourselves. So you can see here, this will be our water heater. This is all of our low voltage, and then that's all getting fished through these here, and then this is where our electrical is going to come through, and then this is our sewage ejector to be able to push all of our waste back to the street. And we'll get a cool lid for this, something. And then, so my thought here was probably to frame this in a little bit, build a door, build that down, and then stucco this with the rest of the house. Because per plan, this ended here. We brought this over, and then we're able to run the venting for the plumbing over here. And then you can see up top, we built a planter to hide all that.
Got all the neighbors.
They all come down here. They're like, we want one of those. Like, what's that cost? I was like, yeah. All right, so inside here, we're gonna be putting a big TV here. I think this is gonna be more for like a workout room slash, not this room, but this area. The owners are not renting it out. I think it's just a space for them. But this will be like a big giant TV here. We're gonna have speakers and surround sound, so maybe kind of movie theater-ish. This will be our kitchen. We'll have, you know, our lowers, no island, and then uppers. And then what we're gonna have to do, since this is a flat roof with concrete on top, we don't have a ton of areas that we can create for our ducting, so we have to get creative, and we're gonna probably build these upper cabinets. A little bit of the top of them are actually just gonna be a vent that we're gonna make out of wood to be able to pump all that heat or cold air into this room without dropping the ceiling. And you can't cut through these because you got 5 inches of slab concrete up there that's holding a ton of weight. So kitchen, and then here is the bathroom, which everything's mimicking the actual house. Same details, curved edge, same baseboard, same material. So it's gonna mimic that. And then this is gonna be the gym. These are areas like this is where we're coming in with our electrical. Areas like this is, us getting our return air for the air conditioning, and then that's gonna be our forced air, which we're gonna have to do some sort of small soffit all the way down here. We're gonna do that out of metal so we can keep it as small as we possibly can.
Why are ADUs so in right now?
They're super popular because you can do like garage conversions. You can turn a 2-car garage into a 1-bedroom, 1-bath ADU with a small kitchen. Adding living space, people are renting them out. A ton of people want to live here in beach towns where you can get a decent amount of rent for those. There was this big hype about 3 years ago where it's like, hey, everyone's going to be doing ADUs, and you didn't hear anything. And then now we're building 7 at the moment. And I think maybe they went through planning or, all of that to get to the point where now they're finally like popping off. But I'm not quite sure, but now it seems like every other plan that comes through our office is an ADU. A lot of people want to rent them out. A lot of people use them as investments. And then a lot of people just want them to have a space, I think, for themselves. Guys are building man caves. We have another one on South Ola Vista we'll go by today, which I'll show you, which they're doing this really cool ADU, and it's a garage conversion. and they're cutting no corners. They have like sushi bar style island and a lot of masculine colors, dark, big TV, full surround sound, steam showers and electric toilets and all that cool stuff. And this is really kind of a man cave for the husband to be able to hang out with his friends on like game nights and stuff like that. So a lot of it's investment. Most of it, in my opinion, and what I've seen, is homeowners just wanting to, have these spaces for themselves or whatever. And that's probably, I'd say, 6 out of the 7 we're building right now, they're not going to be rented out. They're for them. And, and it's just space. They have extra space. Why not build this house? It adds a ton of value to your property. There's all kinds of reasons to do it. There's still a lot to do here, but it's getting close. I think, in a month and a half, coming in, us walking this again and seeing it finish is going to be pretty mind-blowing. Yeah, with landscaping and the stucco finish, and we have these different things we're doing to where anywhere in the house you're not going to be able to see this here. You're just going to be able to see, the podocarpus above you, and then, I don't know what hole that is. I think it's a 9th, the golfers and that kind of stuff. But, a lot of design has gone into this to be able to take away from the negatives and add to the positives, using full space. This backyard was 20 feet wide, and now it's 40, taking advantage of this hillside, which I think a lot of people will end up probably doing once this thing's complete. Yeah. Our goal is to have like an open house here if I can get the homeowners to agree to it, and just kind of send it out to San Clemente and have a taco truck and whatever, and be able to walk this and be like, hey, look, this is possible. Because I don't think people can, a lot of people live on a hill here, and you think like, man, I could put a whole another house in there and then extend my backyard. How rad.
Hi. How's it been going?
Good.
Good?
Going great.
Okay.
How are you?
How are you feeling?
I'm fine. I'm just pretending like I'm just talking to people.
He's a natural.
Alright, I'm just gonna grab some like behind the scenes stuff.
Capo Beach, the job we're heading to is all our MEPs, so electrical, mechanical, plumbing, sprinklers. We're getting all that finished up so that we can call for our roof inspection, and once we get that, then we can start our insulation and drywall. So this inspection we have right now is like probably our biggest one that we're gonna have, and then it's a hard city. Dana Point is like very difficult.
Why is it difficult compared to San Clemente?
Well, because I don't have the connections there that I do here. So like, the inspectors don't know me.
Yeah.
They're like really hard up on finding something to not pass you.
Oh.
Even no matter what it is, even if it's just, so minor it doesn't make a difference, they're gonna, like, I don't think I've ever passed an inspection first try in Dana Point.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They've asked for things that are just like cut sheets from structural beams, and I'll call my rep and all, and they're like, well, I've been doing this for 40 years and no one's ever asked me for that. This build should be done in 4 months.
Okay, so what's the next step on Dana after you pass inspections?
So next step is going to be, we're going to paper and lat the outside, start prepping for stucco, and then we're going to insulate and drywall the inside, and then we can start putting all the pretty stuff up like tile and flooring. So this job is Camino Capistrano. It's in Capo Beach, up here on the bluff. It's a duplex. Owner's going to live in one side and rent the other out. We're actually having it zoned to be separate buildings so they can be sold separately, which makes the build also more difficult because they have to have their own each water main, own risers for their own sprinkler systems, and have to have 2 separate sewer systems going to the street, which is, you know, specialty trade plumbing, and you know, it's going to be probably pretty pricey. But in the end, once the sale, I think that she'll be able to make up for that. So here we'll have some wooden doors, white stucco, and then a couple different textures of that new tech, probably something lighter than that Brazilian Ipe that we saw in the last one. And then we'll have these cool black spiral staircases that go up. And we're gonna keep this parapet roof all black fascia, and then have that nice wood accent. With the spiral staircase, I think that being black, it'll tie that all in, it'll be cool. Kind of funny thing is, like, I feel like with different builders, you get different materials that you'll see that they like to use. So I can kind of drive through town and be like, oh, I know who's building that because I know he likes to recommend these certain things. And I feel like I have that too. And right now I'm really hard up on that new tech stuff, which we saw at the garage on the last project. So here I'm gonna have that new tech here in the lid of the outside above the entryways. And then a couple other places around the outside of the house that will add some texture to it, because I'm sometimes a designer now. If we don't have a designer, I become that guy, which I don't like to do, but I think I'm all right at it. So well, let's walk in over here. It's gonna be a little bit challenging because we're trenched out for some sewers, but to get inside. So this is one unit here, island, kitchen. We actually didn't like the architectural doors here that were per plan. We felt they were low. So we're selling these ones here, and we're gonna order some 8-foot. These are really short, and I just feel like it really closes this area off, and there's a ton of ocean and a ton of blue skies that we're losing, and there's no reason for it. We could go higher. So we're getting rid of these 2 doors, both units, and then putting in some 8-foot ones, which will bring us all the way up, you know, to, it's actually 7.5, but these are also pocket doors. These are cool though. You know, this will all fold up into this wall here and have these nice openings. And then here will be our spiral staircases, which you can enter here, go up, and then have the rooftop deck up top, which we'll put a fireplace and, you know, have gas stub outs and that kind of stuff if you want to barbecue up there. So it's going to be really cool. You're going to have really awesome views. So yeah, so here I was thinking about doing something decorative, maybe like, you know, some nice wood on a 45-degree angle that goes to this post, so it'd be hard to look through, but you know, give separation between the 2 units, because you don't want to we're trying to not take away from the view for either person. So having this unit here obviously is going to have a lot better, we have a lot better views on this side. Hey, are we missing a couple windows still?
Yeah.
Which the one up in that top unit upstairs, and the 2 downstairs?
Yes.
Okay, they're not here.
They're not here, so I came to them now, Lambert, to grab some sheets for installing the doors.
Okay.
This is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to install the doors.
Thank you.
Okay?
I'm gonna find those windows.
Okay, yeah, because we don't have those windows.
All right, thank you, dude.
Okay, yeah.
Bye. Hey, are you still in town?
No, I'm halfway home. Why?
Damn, bro. We're missing a window on, besides the 2 that I told you about, we're missing that one in the upper unit with the view off the back on Camino Capistrano.
Oh, okay. Fuck. I think I have that window. I'm sorry. Alright. I'll get it to you tomorrow.
All right, dude. Hey, and then we gotta just see what I gotta pay extra to get the other 2.
I'm going to call them right now.
All right, thank you, dude.
Okay, thanks.
Bye. It's starting to get a little busy. All right, you guys want to go to the next one?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Buildings like art too.
It is.
You know, it's like, it's crazy. You watch a lot of this stuff come from a plan, from the dirt, And then like Camino de las Mares, like the job we were just on, you know, in the next month and a half, you're gonna watch this whole masterpiece really, like, once all the tape comes off and the plastic and you see all these, you know, different colors and textures and all these things come together, it's really rad. And to see all the different subcontractors and different ideas and different things all have to work together to get this like end piece, which is gonna be really cool on that one. Which, you know,
And I like to document it and showcase it to be like, hey, this is what he does. This is what the company does, so more people can see it. Because if it was up to him, he would just do his thing and keep his head down and work. And I'm over here, no.
I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah,
Like that.
that's true. He definitely would not be here doing this right now.
But it's important and it's exciting, and you know, it's I'm excited to get our name out there and, you know, just to build cool shit.
What's the shared vision for the future for you guys?
Wow, you know, we actually discussed this. I
Yeah.
would say 90% of our conversations are, what's our future look like? One thing we've learned.
You don't know.
One thing we've learned in the 20 years we've been together is no matter what you think your future is going to look like, it doesn't look like that.
Yeah, and you know, you think like, hey, in 5 years from now, I see myself here. Well, 5 years ago, I didn't see myself here, and
Yeah.
you know, and that's the thing. You know, what I plan on doing is just continuing to build, do what I'm doing, do what I do best. And,
Yeah, I think we've learned through
But you don't know where that's going to take
all the
us.
ups and downs. It's truly, like, it's so corny to say, but it's truly about the journey. So I feel like for him and I, our daily goal is to just be better than we were yesterday, and to keep putting one foot in front of the other, no matter the obstacles, and we're gonna get what we want out of life.
I want to build cool shit. So that's, you know, I see us moving. We have 2 really cool projects in Laguna Beach, which we're starting this month, and we're slowly moving north into Newport. And that, I think, is going to be where we'll sit for a while, because we'll be able to build
Well, the product that you
bigger.
want to build.
Yeah, because, you know, here in town, it's like, you know, you tap out, which is understandable. But once you get into Newport Beach, I think you're going to, you know, your budgets get bigger, which allow you to use more high-end finishes, which allow you to really, like, get creative and do really cool stuff. And that's kind of where I see myself going.
Yeah. What's the next spot we're going to?
Next spot, I think that we should go to this little 2-story ADU that we're doing. It's kind of a cool one. It's modern. You know, we're probably about 60% done with it, and I think it'd be a cool one to look at.
Let's roll. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you.
We're heading to.
I'll come with you guys next time too for a little bit. All right, bye.
Bye. With these guys right here.
Trayvon Green, dude, you're on camera. Boy. Later. So I think we'll hit 2 ADUs, and then we'll hit one house up in the gates, and then I think that'll be a wrap.
Cool.
I think another cool aspect of this, like I think I mentioned to you before, is just to see, like, you know, I mean, people don't know, but like I have a past, right? Like a lot of men do that struggled and that are blue collared, and that, you know, they struggle getting sober, and you know, and kind of pushing that in this stuff too, as far as like, hey, you know, first off, you know, you can get sober. Second, you can make a good living in the blue collar world, and then showing like all the fun stuff that you can do, like surfing, living a healthy lifestyle, exercising, you know, and just the complete change of lifestyles from what you were before to where you're going now. And I think that's cool to push that out for a lot of people that, you know, because I know most of the people I know are recovering alcoholics or addicts, and the people that make it through that are usually, you know, they push those addictions towards their business, towards being healthy, towards a better lifestyle, and they end up being really solid people, which is, you know. But I'd like to, you know, touch base on all kinds of stuff like that. And I think it'd be cool for people to watch and be a part of, and maybe make their lives better too. Like, we have this whole rad group of men that are now a part of this business that have all overcome all that stuff too. And now we're just hustling together to create something rad and to build cool homes. And I think that, you know, there's so many guys, you know, out there that are in the same predicament, that struggle, that need to be like, hey dude, you know, you can change, you can be better, your life will turn around.
Yeah, like, it can't happen, and here's what it could look like too.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, dude, that's what I was saying. You know, I was asked by Jordan a little while ago, like, hey, you know, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And it's like, not here. Because 5 years ago, I mean, I got sober 7 years ago. And, you know, and 2 years after that, you know, you're struggling to keep the lights on, you know, and then just continue to keep your head down and build and work towards a goal. And then eventually, you know, you start, you know, getting better, progressing, you know, building cooler things, getting better projects. And then, you know, and then you get to this point now where it's like, we don't want to take on the smaller stuff. And we're starting to be able to get more picky with the projects that we do want to take, and you know, and then I think it's just going to continue to grow in that sense. But that's the thing, is like I never expected myself to be here 5 years ago, so I have no idea what's going to be, you know, 5 years from now, which is cool. So on this project, we kept the first floor, the garage. They wanted to keep that there, have storage. We built the ADU on the top of this. It's been a pretty tricky project. Because again, another flat roof, no drop ceilings. It's a hard one, and we've kind of had to value engineer it a little bit to try to fit within our budgets. With these modern homes, you know, that's difficult to do, but we figured it out. I think today might not be too good of a day to walk this one, just because they're doing the scratch coat and the brown coat, so everything's really kind of taped off and messy. So maybe next week we'll revisit this one. I like these ADUs because they're small, they're fast to build, but you know, you're touching every trade. You're doing everything, right? It's just on a small level. You have kitchen, bathrooms, living rooms, dining rooms, all the appliances, but everything's small. It's cool. How are you guys? You ready to be on camera? So this is cool. This is curbless. Well, it's got a curb, but no dam. Floor to ceiling, tile on the ceiling. So the glass is gonna go all the way up. And then we'll have a vent in the glass, but what's cool is this is going to be like a little iPad controller, and this is going to be a steam shower, which is pretty rad. Again, super masculine. We have a floating shelf or bench here. Tile continues wrapping up. Here's your drain underneath that, and then this will continue all the way through. Then we're going to bring this drywall out to be flush here, and this will all have it's calling for like Venetian plaster, which will be rad, and also a dark color. And then this floating sink here is super cool with wall mount fixtures. It's going to be like a really, really rad bathroom. Let's talk about this really quick. This is white oak, these cabinets here. Forever the trend was rift cut. It still is. Rift cut's a different grain, and this is like a plain slice, but what's cool is that it's all book matched, so as you see, this continues through as one piece for these separate drawers, which is really rad. You can see here, this job was done right. This lady's built in the past, but we have a very specific plan with every tile color, It's not Venetian plaster inside, it's Roman clay, which I might steer them away from. But it's just, again, it's super nice to have, you know, all of the design, the tile layout, how thick the grout spacing is going to be, what color the paint is. Everything is very detailed, which allows us to build this a lot faster. This one's going to be really cool. This will be like a 100-inch TV. We have like a really cool pendant light, giant one going here, full surround sound. Those will all be like that open shelf, but like metal with shelving, kind of like a high-end bar. And then they're working right now on the island, which will have a step down with stools, so it'll feel like a sushi bar. That's why that island obviously is a lot taller than a normal island, which is it's gonna be cool. They were like got super fun and creative with this project. Oh, we got the tunes on today, dude.
Oh yeah.
Carmen, se me perdió la cadenita con el Cristo del Nazareno que tú me regalaste, Carmen, que tú me regalaste, que tú me regalaste.
Right now we're working on the pool foundation, and this is the addition over here. So there's going to be another garage added to this, and like Shane said, then you'll have extra living space up above.
We're gonna put a little shower in the garage right here, so after surfing he can rinse off, and then we're gonna make the access to the house right here, so he can go rinse off, take his wetsuit off, hang it, grab a towel, and walk right into his laundry room. And then he's got a lot of nice cars, so we're turning a 3-car garage into a 4-car garage, so he can fit. Right now he's been renting garage space from his neighbors. So.
And he's going to have a new e-bike shed on the other side,
Yeah,
with a bunch of extra plugs for the bikes.
So this is a 5,000 square foot home, but from the street it looks like a small single family the way it's laid out. So what we're doing is we're making the entryway really grand, really making the front of the house look big, and then we're gonna have a really nice grand entry in here with, you know, a big gate and retaining walls with overhangs. It's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah, so, and then also we're gonna restucco the whole outside of the house smooth, kind of give it like a real Spanish feel. I think we could probably have this done in 3.5 months. I mean, when I say that, it's mainly get the building and the inside wrapped up so that they're, you know, living here, and there'll probably be some landscaping and, you know, finish touches with the pool and that kind of stuff. But the biggest thing we like to do is get the inside done, the building done, let them go back to living normally, and we can continue to kind of make noise on the outside.
How did this guy find you?
I've known Darren for probably 5 years. We go to the same church. So, you know, he had asked me like 2 years ago if I was interested in doing some work at his house, and then we chatted, and then I brought over my architect. We started kind of throwing over some ideas, and here we are. Hey, get that thing fixed, boy.
Hey, tell them who you are and what you do.
Sounds good, huh?
Yeah. Is that a custom exhaust?
Yeah. Real custom.
Where are you going?
Camino. We're about to top it off.
All right, well, let me know what happens. Later. All right, thank you guys for coming with us today. In a couple weeks, we'll do this again, and we'll go hit some of Alan's projects and a couple other PMs and see what they got going on, and we'll circle back and see the progress on the stuff that we visited today. So, yeah, thanks for coming.